Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be reviewing Rise of the Tomb Raider, which was released back in 2015 for the PlayStation 4. Now, this game, the main plot of this game is basically Lara trying to find this thing called the Divine Source, and she comes across this sort of organization called Trinity, and it's basically Lara has to find this Divine Source thing before Trinity does, because I think their main leader or something like that wants to gain immortality or something, and yeah, it's basically a kind of like who's gonna get this first. It's basically a race sort of, and yeah, and I think the main plot is basically a lot of other plots that I've heard of in a lot of other like bits of media like films and TV shows. Two factors trying to find a specific thing before the other one does, and then they meet, they fight for it, and then one of them gets it. Yeah, and it's kind of like similar to a lot of those kinds of plots or something that follows that sort of format. But I think it does this in its own different way, like in its own Tomb Raider-y kind of way, because this is basically just because this is a reboot of the original Tomb Raider games, so this is a bit more grittier, kind of like the Uncharted games with that kind of style of gameplay and settings and story and stuff. But yeah, I think it's a nice, enjoyable game. I think it's enjoyable. I think a lot of the stuff you can do in the game is quite nice because at the start you get given a bow, and then next you're given like different weapons, like I think a rifle, a pistol and a shotgun, and you can basically use those to your advantage when you're hunting enemies or prey or whatever. So you can like get experience points, get ammo for your bow or guns, and you can basically just do a lot of stuff. Like you can get like some customizations for your weapons and stuff like that. So, and you can only do those at campsites. Now, campsites are basically these sort of save pointery type areas, and also warp areas as well, in which whenever you see one, you can basically just warp to any part of the map that you've already found. Or where you've already found a campsite, and I think that's a really nice thing to do, because in these campsites you can basically just gain a specific ability you can do, or customize your stuff, or change Lara's outfits. So the outfits are basically different have these different priorities. So like one might have a thing in which you're more silent when firing your bow. You might find more ammo from enemies. You might get more materials for customizing like arrows and stuff like that. And I think that's really nice and interesting. And the characters you meet along the way are quite interesting, because you've got Trinity, who is basically the evil organization guys, and then you've got these sort of mountain range villagers. And I think they're quite interesting because they show different sides of like the whole war for the Divine Source thing. And I think one of the first characters you meet is a guy called Jacob, I think, and he's like really friendly towards Lara, and when his sister is more hostile towards him, or towards Lara, Jacob is more comforting. He's trying to comfort her, and his sister, and saying that Lara's not a foe, she's a friend. And I think that's like good, like characterization, but as always, like, characters just talking to each other and trying to like help each other out and things like that. And now I'm going to show you some gameplay. Now the gameplay can vary depending on how your playstyle is. So for example, this part of the game is more of a stealth section, and you can basically just either just headshot guys, or if I can it can like basically just change different like things. If I can remember which one it is. No, wrong button. Oh yes, now I remember. Yeah, so you can change different weapons. Yeah, that's kind of my fault. I can't remember how to change weapons. But if you use this part of the PlayStation 4 controller, you can change weapons. So let's say you want to change to a rifle. I think that's what this is. Yeah, then you can just headshot, and then let's say switch to a shotgun, and then just walk and shoot, Terminator style. Yeah. And then you can basically just go from different angles and just shoot people, and just there we go. Oh my god, there's a guy, and I'm dead. So yeah. And I do kind of like the graphics in this game. It kind of looks like the Uncharted games, like I think Uncharted 4. Yeah, it kind of looks like the Uncharted 4 graphics wise. I think it's quite nice. I think it's quite nice. Like I think the graphics are quite nice looking, and I do like it for like the where you can use your guns and stuff and your bow. So let's say I want to use my bow, I can then just yeah, nope. Yeah, but I do like using like the rifle and the shotgun because I think they're quite effective. Yeah, and you can use you can use your hatchet, but I think the rifle, the pistol, the shotgun, and the bow I think are more effective than your hatchets, and yeah, I think that's quite useful. I think they're more useful. And for the for the hatchets, you can use them for areas when you're trying to get throughout tombs and stuff like that. I think it's quite nice. Yeah, and also throughout the game you do come across people with different guns and stuff like that, or different weapons they can use. That can just tear you down and just use a lot of effective other things. They can. Ooh, there we go. And okay. And yep. That's basically just so many stuff. And also, hang on. I wonder. But anyway, if you look on the map, you can check the different areas that you've been to, and see how many stuff you collected. So how many tombs, how many missions, how many relics, stuff like that you've found in each area. And I think this is a good way to have a big open world kind of ish, because you can just basically go to each area that you want to and just basically try and find the remaining stuff that you might have missed. So for this area I'm only missing 2 relics, I'm missing 1 challenge, 1 relic, a bunch of documents, and several survivor caches, I think I'm saying that right. Yeah, I think it's quite good. And I think each weapon is quite useful because and you can upgrade some of your stuff to help you in battle. So and you can buy some stuff. So I think in the shop you can get a suppressor, which can help you stay more quiet, when you're trying to hit enemies. And there we go. And you can heal, but you do need specific stuff to heal yourself. And I don't really have that much healing stuff, and I'm dead. But yeah, that's basically very basic combat stuff. with the guns. I should probably use the bow to show you how you can use that. So for so you can use like different kinds of arrows. So you can use like poison arrows, I think fire arrows. A good one. Yeah, I think you can also use I think bomb arrows as well as just regular arrows. Again, I think that's quite nice. Of how like you've got like different ways to like basically just shoot people with. And this is, there we go. Okay, and then there we go. And then Terminator. And then if you're low on ammo, you can either reload or just wait until the gun has basically just stopped has no ammo left in a particular chamber. I think it's quite nice. And there we go, another headshot. And and there we go. And I think like with it, depending on if you're struggling in a particular part, you can, like, with enough practice, you can get through a particular part of the game. Like with enough practice and enough patience, you can try and get through a particular part. So this, I don't know how many times it's taken me to defeat these guys, but that should be all of them. Yep. And then you can just go ahead and, oh no, hang on, I wonder, can I get to the bit? Yeah, I possibly can. No, I think it's up there. Because there are some parts of the game, oh, and also, okay, hang on, and there are parts you can climb up stuff. So like this part, oh, maybe, I don't know. Okay, looks like I can't climb up that particular bit, but there are parts in the game where you can climb up stuff, like this bit, and then there are these rope sections in which you can just like you can just like slide down on from while using the hook, and you can find different voice tape things depending on, like, I think a lot of them are mainly from Trinity, but I think there are also like some other stuff you can learn, like different languages. I think there's one in Greek, I think, or I think another one in Russian, I think.
And then Constantine was there. Took my head in his hands and smiled. He told me.
So yeah, that's basically an audio tape you can use, and you can basically find more about Trinity and stuff like that, which I think is quite nice, and it adds a bit more to the lore of the game. And I think like a lot of the stuff are quite useful for, like, you know, understanding what Trinity are doing, what they're looking for, how they're going to try and find it, that sort of thing. And I do think that I think like it's a good good use of like the locations, because like I think this is because like it's mainly used in like one like main location with like different set pieces and stuff like that, and you can just miss about and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's been it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. So overall, I did enjoy Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think it's a nice. I think it's a good reboot. I'm not saying it's like the best reboot of all time, but I think for like what it's trying to accomplish and where it's set, where the setting is of the game, I think it does a job well. I think I feel like there could have been a few things kind of like ironed out here and there. like, I think probably with like enemies, maybe like enemies, some enemies could possibly in some areas could be less of, or spot you less, or be less likely to spot Lara, because there were times in which I was playing where there were like, I think, one too many enemies in my opinion, and I would have been better if like there not many enemies. So yeah, I think overall it's a good reboot. I think it's a good game overall, and I think I do enjoy it. I think you have some fun if you were playing it, and I would suggest it to any new fans or fans who want to get into the whole Lara Croft Tomb Raider reboot thing. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.